I'm going to be talking to you about using Becker in two different environments. My job during the school year is teaching high school at a Catholic high school in Louisville, Kentucky, and the populace is, I teach philosophy and comparative world religion there, and my population is probably 85% Catholic. They're urban, and I'd say kind of lukewarm in their Catholicism, okay? So that's one area where I present it. And yeah, actually this feels very much like sort of Catholic church with everybody back there. I'm very at home in this environment. But anyway, the other environment, and what you're going to see more of, is a summer program where I was presenting Becker to Christian fundamentalists who, for example, would have major issues with evolution. So the high school I teach at, I think it's a great environment to present Becker because I can get away with this. Okay, a lot of places you couldn't, and being a theology teacher, I can talk about religion very explicitly, and I can talk about it within a Catholic tradition with a common vocabulary, but at the same time, it's a place that is secure enough to allow me to critique it. Oftentimes when I teach, I will stand in the doorway with one foot in the class and one foot out, representing, standing within the Catholic tradition but transcending it. And that's what I'm trying to get across. I want them to be critical thinkers, and I'm lucky enough to be in an environment where I can do that. Okay. Now I'm gonna shift over a little bit and talk about the summer program. This is the textbook we used, and I have a copy of it up here. I'm sure that there are probably people in the room familiar with it. It's called Meeting the Shadow. I decided that I wanted to use Carl Jung's notion of the shadow as a way of getting into Becker, because I wanted them to identify with their own experience. I wanted them to identify their own dark side and have a sense of that as a way of moving out into, what does this look like when it's projected across a society? So this book has great readings from Jung, Becker's in here, Sam Keen. It's kind of a who's who. This has exercises where you can use art and drawing, storytelling, all kinds of great things. They're sort of more academic treatments, and then also some experiential things. I like to use this book also because in a 5-week course, you're not going to exhaust it. We just sampled it. And one of the things I think that's really important in presenting Becker to anybody, but especially high school students, is to give them a place to go when you're done. Give them more. So we probably looked at maybe a fifth of the articles in here, but there's more for them to follow up on, so they can do their own thing when the course is over. I like to do that a lot. Yeah. Okay, this is sort of an overview of the 5-week summer course, and I'll tell you more about the clientele there in a second. But the first half of the class, we talk a lot about the personal shadow, and they identify with that, and we read articles about the shadow, and it's a very personal thing. And I just sort of used a bell curve to reflect this, and at the top, representing the climax, is I show the film Flight from Death and introduce them to the denial of death. So I put it in the middle, okay, to have some time to process. On the downslope, we look first at sort of the dark side and the individual, and then the collective shadow. What does this look like writ large in society? And then ending again with the personal shadow, again with an eye towards, well, what do I do with this stuff? Okay, well, you begin working on yourself, okay? Here's the class that I worked with this summer. It's a picture of them. They're really they're great kids. They come from across the state of Kentucky. 350 of them come to Bellarmine University, and they take a wide variety of classes, and one of them is psychology. So this is my psychology class. And they're great kids. Most of them come from a fundamentalist background. You know, I just really wanted to see, would Becker fly with these folks? And my hat's off to them. They're wonderful, wonderful kids, and by golly, they went with it. I mean, I'm not sure where all of them were at the end, but they gave it a shot. They had the courage, the integrity to engage it. And so I think, you know, most of them had a fantastic, the vast majority, they had a fantastic experience and learned a lot, but it was a big bite for them. It really, really was. And I tried to do it, again, in a sensitive, pastoral sort of way.